Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Max Velocity weather forecast. And in today's forecast, we'll be breaking down a huge weather pattern change, and it'll be bringing record-breaking high temperatures for Labor Day weekend. We'll also be breaking down a potential for a long-tracked hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean soon. I'll be giving you the latest breakdown on everything that you need to know in this forecast, but let's first begin with what's happening across the United States today, and we'll first begin with the Midwest. And this is an area that we actually have some showers and storms right now. It's actually been kind of interesting. We've been watching some showers and storms along with a low pressure system that is spinning back up north of New England. And this has been driving right along Canada, just in southern Canada. It hasn't really been in the United States much, which is just bringing some showers and storms. It's not pulling that much moisture, so we don't have a lot of buoyancy to create a whole lot of severe weather. So that's just kind of the perspective here of this entire system. Not expecting any severe weather out of this, but there will be some showers and maybe a couple storms as we go throughout the rest of today and as well as into tomorrow across parts of the Northeast. Back down in the Southeast United States, we don't have any tropical storms or anything like that in this vicinity, but we do have an upper level disturbance that's actually spinning a little bit of some showers and storms from the Gulf of Mexico inland, and that's pulling a little bit of moisture, allowing for a few showers and storms on the Gulf Coast. And you'll notice that spin right here, that's your counterclockwise spin with this low pressure system. By no means will this become a tropical storm. It's an upper level disturbance, so not really surface based as in comparison to like tropical systems. Back over in the western tier of the United States, we do have a low pressure system spinning over in Northern California as well, and this is allowing for some showers and storms. It is pulling moisture out of the Pacific Ocean, again another area that moisture is pulled out of to be able to create showers and storms, and we have been seeing some showers and storms there over the past few days. A little bit of isolated severe weather. Again, monsoon season still ongoing here through early September, so there are some showers and storms ongoing there. And then Idalia is no longer near the coastline of the United States, but is still bringing life-threatening rip currents, at least for the next few days. Now, the Atlantic tropics are getting very active. We are currently approximately a week away from the peak of hurricane season, which is on September 10th. We still do have 3 disturbances in the Atlantic Ocean and 1 area of development. Post-tropical cyclone Idalia is sitting right off the coast of Bermuda. We also have tropical storm Gert, which has been ongoing for several days now, not expected to impact the United States. Then we have Katia, which is over in the eastern Atlantic Ocean. Good news is none of these are expected to greatly impact the United States. Idalia should just stay off to the east of New England. But notice this area of development in the southern Atlantic Ocean back over near Africa. That is where this is currently located, and it's expected to really quickly move off to the west over the next 5 days. Currently has a 70% chance of development over the next 5 days, and this could perhaps become a long-tracked hurricane as it moves off to the west. And there's a lot of questions whether this might go into the Caribbean Sea. Could it go out to sea? Could it even go toward Florida or the East Coast? And I'll be breaking down those possibilities here in just a second, but it is a concerning system because it could very easily be a long-tracked hurricane with the environment that it is in. Here's Idalia. Again, it's expected to stay post-tropical cyclone. It's not expected to go back into a normal tropical cyclone. It will be moving off to the north and northeast over the next few days. Notice this huge area of tropical storm force winds. There are still tropical storm warnings in effect for Bermuda for the time being, and this will move off to the north and east and eventually go toward Nova Scotia, and it will likely weaken down to a tropical depression by then as we go closer to Wednesday into Thursday. So overall, no significant impacts to the United States with this, even though there has been some discussion about that. I'm not expecting this to go back toward Florida or even really back toward New England at this time. Let's take you day by day with all these tropical systems, beginning with today. Again, notice Idalia moving off to the north and northeast. Here's your tropical wave coming off Africa. That's what we have to watch for very, very closely. And here's Katia, which is not expected to last very long. Once we go into Monday into Tuesday, notice these different systems. We have Idalia going toward Nova Scotia with heavy rainfall, maybe some high winds as well near the coastline. And then here's your tropical wave. Again, not really developing a whole lot. 1,010 millibars is not very concerning, but notice as we go closer to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that really starts to intensify. Idalia weakening very quickly. That'll be basically done by Thursday or Friday. But then this is what we're watching for, is this tropical wave that could become a tropical storm as early as potentially Wednesday or Thursday of this week. Notice by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, notice how this gets very close to the Lesser Antilles, much more intense by then with 986 millibars. That is a category 1, potentially even closer to a category 2 hurricane with that type of intensity. There have been computer models that have indicated that this could be way stronger than this by this point. So we have to watch a lot of things very closely. There's obviously a lot of uncertainty since this is still about 200 hours out, but it is definitely in play that we could see a hurricane develop out of this, perhaps even stronger. The European model does bring this close to the Lesser Antilles and Bermuda, almost takes a Dorian kind of track with what we had a few years ago back in 2019 with Hurricane Dorian. Hurricane Dorian went like this and it went kind of boomerang near the coastline. It has a similar feel right now, but again, there's a lot of time between now and then. A lot of things could easily change. Depends on where this high pressure system is by then. A lot of different things are going to change. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted with the latest, but this is definitely going to be something to watch for as we get closer to mid-September. Let's talk more about the weather pattern here in the United States, and we're going to look at the jet stream to look at that. As of right now, the jet stream is lifted back up to the north, pretty typical for September. Heat dome is still dominating in the central and southern plains. This is a low pressure system. Also have another low pressure system back up in Canada. Now, over the next few days, things are going to change a little bit. So as we go through Saturday, Sunday, into Monday, notice this heat dome, it really doesn't move a whole lot. If anything, it actually might backtrack a little bit to the east, and then we'll be watching for a low pressure system back over in the Rocky Mountains. And as this ejects out of the Rocky Mountains, there is a chance if it moves correctly off to the north and northeast, it actually could pose a threat for severe weather closer to the Midwest as we go later into the week. So definitely something to watch out for. That would also bring some temperature relief as well with that massive heat wave that's coming this weekend. Notice by Thursday into Friday, this is where your low pressure system is going to be located over the Midwest, where there could be a chance for some showers, storms, maybe some severe weather. The upper level winds not very strong out of this, so the uncertainty definitely is there for severe weather, but there's definitely going to be a chance, at least as we go closer to the midweek. And eventually going into Saturday and Sunday of next weekend, things become much more uncertain, but overall the heat wave is not really going anywhere here across the United States. Here are the temperature anomalies, and notice this weekend really above average temperatures are expected in the Midwest. Once you see these darker red colors, that's going to be representing the potential for record-breaking high temperatures and even low temperatures. So very warm there. Cooler weather back over in the west coast of the United States, so those areas that have been having a hot summer there going to feel a little bit cooler over the next few days. There's going to be relentless heat though in the Midwest through all the way through Monday into Tuesday. Relief will come sometime next week, at least to some extent by Thursday or Friday with that low pressure system. It might not be drastic, but at least the temperatures should get back down closer to average. Eventually by Saturday into Sunday of next weekend, again, things become pretty uncertain, but there could be more cool downs in the future. Again, we are getting very close to the fall. Meteorological fall just started yesterday, so again, we are starting to get closer here to the fall season. Here are those temperatures for Sunday. Many areas like Green Bay, Wisconsin, Madison, a lot of areas could hit record-breaking temperatures on Sunday, including even Sioux Falls. Notice the temperatures all across the board, upper 90s, low 100s. Chicago 93, back over near Sioux Falls around 101. It's going to be very hot tomorrow, so make sure you are monitoring the threat of heat illnesses. And also going into Monday, temperatures are not going to change for Labor Day. Temperatures still in the upper 90s, not nearly as close to 100, but it'll still be very hot out there. Potentially some record-breaking temperatures there for Labor Day. And here's your overall forecast from the 7th to 11th of this month. Basically, the first 2 weeks here of September are expected to be above average across the United States, with the highest likelihood of that happening in the southern plains and as well as back near New Mexico. Elsewhere, we're still looking at above average temperatures. The only exception would be the West Coast. It's a bit more of a 50-50 chance right now between above and below average temperatures. Rain over the next several days. It doesn't look too promising. We'll have a ridge at the surface really dominating on the East Coast for the next several days. Notice there'll be some showers and storms in the northern plains. This might evolve into a severe weather threat Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday across the Midwest, but it does not look to be widespread at this time, but it could change closer to Wednesday into Thursday. Damaging winds would be the main concern with the current ingredients that we have. And eventually going to Friday, Saturday of next weekend, again, we're not really looking at any substantial widespread rain, but the Midwest will have a chance of that as we go into closer to the mid to late week. Rainfall across the United States through Saturday. This is through the 9th. We're really not looking at a whole lot, but the best chance for it will be across parts of the Midwest, Northwest United States, including the Rocky Mountains, and as well as near the Gulf Coast. That upper level disturbance is helping to bring more rain there for the next few days. In terms of precipitation, all the way through the 11th of this month, above average precipitation is likely across the northern plains and the northeast, and back over along the Gulf Coast and the West Coast. Unfortunately, no good news as of right now. It's going to continue to stay very dry for the next several days. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe if you've not already.